Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. So today we had an exciting install for you that unfortunately got ruins. My SD card and my camera went bad, so we're going to do a recap and a review so we can go over the pros and cons over the XTC Power Products turn signal kit. Now this one is specific for the Honda Pioneer 1000. They make them for multiple different brands. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this real quick. So in some states, side-by-sides are street legal. Arizona, they are. Turn signal kits are not required, but in some states they are. So this is a great kit. It is pricey, but it's a great kit. I looked at a couple different kits, and this is probably the best kit I've found. It was also the most expensive. And why do I say it's the best kit? Well, it uses OEM connectors. It took me about 2 hours to install it, and we're going to walk through that here in a minute. But that was just routing the wires and making it look halfway decent. So when you open up this kit, unfortunately the unboxing got ruined. You have three main parts. You have the brain, you have a front harness, and you have a rear harness. Now on the brain is hardwired the switches. So when you go to install this, the first thing you're going to do is run the rear harness. And let me show you what I did. So in the back here, you have your OEM harness, which is this one right here. This is the XTC harness. It comes in, and you're going to unplug the tail lights and put their harness in between. Now I want you to notice there's a yellow wire here. On the passenger side, there's a green wire so that you know exactly where the wires go. So let's go ahead and lift the bed so you can see the routing of the wires I did. So when you come in here, I don't know if you can see this black and red wire right there. That is for a license plate light. And here's the wires. And I came down and followed the factory wiring harness. So when we come up here, we take our seat off. I routed here the harness right here, and I just followed this big wire loom. I went down and I followed the air intake. Now, one thing I did do to help out, see down here, there is an access panel right here. I took that out, and by sticking my arm up, I could get it up behind the dash. The hardest part of this whole install is routing the wires. You can do this whole install with a pair of dikes to cut the zip ties and a Phillips head screwdriver, and maybe a small flathead if you have some issues getting the clips off. So from there, you go ahead and mount the brain. Now my brain, I've already got tucked away, but this is what it looks like right there. It's a nice, well-built product. What they want you to do is put the brain where my dual battery setup is. So instead, I tucked it down there, and it's good to go for me. Now, this harness here is the one from the back, and it's written on here, rear harness. This harness here is the one from the front, and this, unfortunately, as I need to do some manipulations here, is to the switches. I don't like how short that is. So the second step in this whole process is running the front harness along with a horn. This kit does come with a horn. I reused the horn I already had installed because I like the style and the tone I have. But you can use any horn that you already have, or the one that they send. So I chose to do the upgrade. I put two lights here and one on the side. I like the side marker light, so if I'm in the middle of an intersection, people can see my intent, because I do drive this everywhere. So you have your marker lights, turn signals on both sides, and then I have the horn. And I don't know if you can see up here, here's my harness zip tied and it goes up and through. I made sure to go over the suspension. Now, be careful when installing this of where you drill. Right behind these two lights here is the headlight bezel. So be careful if you hit that, you don't break off a mount for your headlight or whatnot. Best bet's probably to put everything right here. This is all hollow. You just have to be real careful. These lights are really simple to install. You drill a 3/4 inch hole, you push the rubber grommet in, and then the LED is just held in there by friction. So the next part of the install was to install the switches. And the switches were probably the most difficult part to install after routing the wires. So I installed my turn signal switch here and the hazard horn button there. Now you can remove these switches if you've already installed these, and I could have put the hazard horns in one of these. And they do make this turn signal switch, they give you the option if you want it to be vertical, and that's the whole install. It took, like I said, just over 2 hours to install it. So let's go over some pros and cons of this thing, then I'll show you how it works. Pro, anybody can install this. Like I said, you need a Phillips screwdriver and a set of dikes to cut the zip ties. They provide everything down to the dielectric grease. Pro, if you're not running a dual battery setup, which I highly recommend, they show you how to disable the illuminated switches so that they're not illuminated when you have it hooked up directly to the battery. I wouldn't recommend that, because then you could leave your turn signals on or your hazards on, or someone can walk up and hit the horn. And let's say you go off for a hike, you're out camping or something, and somebody hits the turn signals and you don't realize it, you come back with a dead battery. So always run that dual battery setup. And then con is the price. Man, this thing's over $300. And the reason I'm complaining on the price is it was about $330 plus the extra LEDs. Now they make the harness, if you buy these extra LEDs, that plugs into the factory harness that they send you. It all works together. For over $300, I think they should provide the 3 LEDs. All the other kits provide 3 LEDs. It's so much brighter. These are really bright. I'll show you here in a minute. You'll be able to see them in the daylight. But man, this is a plug and play system. You don't have to cut anything. I've looked at other turn signal kits and you got to cut rear harnesses. You got to wire everything up. And that's fine if you want to save money, but this is the best way to go in my eyes. Hazards, turn signals, horn, all in one kit. The directions are phenomenal, and they build it here in Arizona. It's a US based company, so you're supporting small business. So let me go ahead and pull forward. Let me show you how these things work. Okay, I went ahead and pulled it in, and let's go ahead and let me show you how this works. So you got your left turn signal, right turn signal, and then you can see the blue. If you hit your hazards, not only does that flash, but both of those flash. Let's just walk around. These are extremely bright. Like I said, I wanted the side marker plus the front two. And the best thing about this kit is it utilizes the rear brake lights. Those are probably the dimmest part of the whole kit. So, a couple quick tips. When you do this, plan 3 hours. You may get it done sooner, but just plan for it. You don't want to rush yourself. Take your time in routing the wires. I followed the factory wiring harness. I went all the way up. Make sure you can open your dump bed and take your seat off. They even recommend taking off your skid plates. I didn't do that. Open up that access panel in the front. It truly helps. Other than that, take your time and make sure your engine is cool. This is an easy install. Anybody can do it. It just takes time. I recommend that dual battery setup. So go ahead, leave me a comment below if you like this system or if you got something else. Like I said, I know there's other ones out there. This one's just less work on my half. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like the video. And until next time.